Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Fox Sports.
There's no place like home. After a tough trek through KC, Joe Madden is counting on the comforts of the Trop to ignite his suddenly faltering Rays. The Tigers bring their loaded lineup to town, but right-hander James Shields knows it's stopper time. Tigers and the Rays right now on Sun Sports. Tonight, the Rays return to Tropicana Field to open a 7-game homestand. The first team in, the Detroit Tigers, and this is game 1 of the 4-game series. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Stats. Good to have you aboard. We'll be hearing from Todd Callis throughout the evening as well. The Rays just 3-6 on that 9-game road trip. They managed to score just 31 runs in those 9 games, and they are happy to have Luke Scott back in the middle of their lineup. The A's going to hit 4th tonight. He still leads this team and runs batted in.
Well, they need to inject some life into this offense. They hope this is a guy that's going to do it for them. And you're right, Dwayne goes right into the middle of that lineup. And you see the numbers. 3rd on the team in homers, the 35 RBIs, still leading the team. And he's done it by only playing in 2/3 of the games this year. 75 games, he's played in 51 of them and still able to do that. Right now, he's been very productive when he's been out there, and that's what the Rays need right now is productivity from that lineup.
Well, the Rays are going to face the Detroit Tigers. They are the mystery team in the American League this year. They come in 3 games under 500. And in the 3rd and 4th spots, 2 of the best hitters in baseball in Miguel Cabrera and Prince Fielder.
And you're going to have to control these 2 guys because there's some pretty good table setters in front of them. Not very much production at all from the bottom of the middle of the lineup down. These 2 matchup nightmares because you go right-handed, left-handed. I mean, both in the top 10 in runs batted in. Very productive, very durable. They're out there every inning of every game. They've got power. They've got average. Rays pitchers are going to have to really work their way around those 2 gentlemen.
Well, this is the first game of this series, and as the weekend approaches, the Rays hope to, one by one, get some of the walking wounded back. When we return, Todd Callis will take a look at the potential returns.
Rays heading into Tropicana Field by the Rotunda. Getting ready for a little Thursday night baseball inside Tropicana Field. 72 degrees and air conditioning. After a very warm series in Kansas City, the Rays are happy to be home for a number of reasons, especially the fact that they lost all 3 to the Royals. So now they try and turn it around against the Tigers, and it's also Game 7 of an 8-game suspension for Joel Peralta. He'll be back on Saturday, and today he threw a little live BP. Threw about 20 pitches, faced Will Rhymes, also faced Sean Rodriguez. Overall, he said he felt good, and he is ready to go. Threw a bullpen session on Tuesday in Kansas City as well. You know how much Joe Madden loves calling on number 62 in the bullpen. Well, he might also have a couple of other guys that will join the team this weekend. Luke Scott, of course, back today after missing 17 games. Kyle Farnsworth, more than likely they'll activate him on Saturday. Jeremy Hellickson also should be ready to go Saturday. And Joel Peralta coming back from the suspension Saturday. So the Rays adding as many as 3 players to the pitching staff in the middle game, in the third game of that 4-game series. So it's the Rays and the Tigers from Tropicana Field as we get you ready for baseball. It'll be Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson with all the action coming up next, right here on Sun Sports.
Night is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today for great deals on the amazing lineup of Toyota vehicles. Toyota, moving forward. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Tires Plus, the plus is in everything we do. And by Nissan. Get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation you can count on. Innovation for all. Tonight's Rays game presented in high definition, brought to you by H.H. Gregg. Rays and the Tigers square off tonight. Detroit will have Austin Jackson leading off, followed by Quentin Berry and then Miguel Cabrera. Prince Fielder at first, hitting cleanup in front of the former Ray D.H. Delman Young. Alex Avila is the catcher. Johnny Peralta at shortstop. Brennan Bosch is in right field, and Ramon Santiago will hit ninth. He'll play second base.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays is right-hander James Shields, who will be looking to continue his very impressive run against his Detroit Tiger Ball Club. 5-0 against Detroit in his career, including a game that he pitched against them back in April, where he was able to outduel Justin Verlander. Went 8 strong in that game, picking up a win.
James Shields set to go to work here. Detroit coming in 36 and 39. And Austin Jackson leads it off. Jackson is having a great year all around for the Detroit Tigers. And the first pitch of this game presented by Pinch a Penny. And that's a fastball in there for a strike.
And these are going to be some big matchups for Shields between Jackson and Quentin Berry, keeping them off base in front of the two sluggers.
The pitch inside. Here's a guy, Austin Jackson, who a year ago struck out 181 times. He's 6th in the league in hitting right now and much more patient than he used to be. In fact, he sees more pitches per at bat than any other Tiger in this lineup.
Yeah, because they don't see many. I mean, you see his on base percentage.
Swing and a miss. He's out on strikes. The changeup gets Austin Jackson.
Yeah, no answer for that pitch. Shields threw a couple of very good ones in this sequence. Here's the put away. Watch as that ball comes in and just dives underneath the bat. Great start for Shields. Yeah, but you talk about the rest of this lineup. The Detroit Tigers, as a team, see the fewest pitches per plate appearance than anybody else in the American League. So
and that's how Jackson used to be.
Yeah, well, and that's what led to all those strikeouts. Now the patience, he works in, cut down on that, work in some walks. The on-base percentage is good. He has turned it around in a hurry.
And here's Quentin Berry. He bunts and fouls that one. That's a strike. Berry's been around for a little while. In fact, that bunt attempt, when he first got to the big leagues, his first big league hit, he bunted for a double. That was against Cleveland, and he bunted to the right side. Got a ball that got by the Indians' second baseman, and it went for a two-base bunt.
Well, I got a chance to talk to Rod Allen, the color analyst for the Detroit Tigers, and he told me Quentin Berry can flat out fly, but I mean, seriously, a bunt for a double? It's a little ridiculous.
His first big league hit. Pitch is down. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Berry's 27 years old. He's out of San Diego State. And the pitch is high, and he'd been with a couple other clubs. He got a chance to play because of injury with the Tigers, and he's made the most of it. He's hitting .318 in 32 games.
Yeah, we talk about in this lineup, you'll hear Cabrera and Fielder's name mentioned a ton, but you got to keep these little guys at the front off.
And that will do that nicely.
How about that? Don't even let them put it in play. With their speed, they can beat it out. Shields completely freezes Berry there to pick up out number 2. Let's take a quick look at the Rays defense as it lines up behind James tonight. In the outfield, Desmond Jennings, B.J. Upton, and Ben Zobrist. Across the infield, third to first, Brooks Conrad, Elliot Johnson, Jeff Kebinger, and Carlos Pena. Jose Lobaton will be behind the plate. Tonight's Ray defense brought to you by Sweet Base Supermarkets, home of the new Sweet Spot Burgers.
On a strikeout swinging on the change against Jackson, looking on the fastball to Berry. And here is Miguel Cabrera. Pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes.
Let's take a look at the scouting report on Miguel Cabrera, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida. Consistent basher. This guy gets it done year in and year out.
And he shoots this one into right center field. Well hit. That's going to be off the wall. The carom played by Zobrist. And Cabrera is in with a stand-up double.
And that's why Austin Jackson and Quentin Berry, if the Rays pitchers want to have success, they have to stay in the dugout when these next 2 guys come to the plate. The second part of that scouting report was driving force, and here's why. Miguel Cabrera, very, very strong, can drive the ball to all parts of the field with excellent power. You see him go down and get that ball down and in and just kind of push it out there to right center off the wall on the fly.
Yeah, that's the impressive thing. If you see the location of that pitch and what he did with it.
It's one thing if it's up and away and you're getting full extension, but to go down and pull your hands through and be able to drive the pitch like he did right there with authority, well, enough said.
He's now 11 out of 23 lifetime against Shields. And here's Prince Fielder. That pitch is a strike, a fastball. Now, Fielder's hitting .301. He's 7th in the league in runs batted in. Cabrera started at .304, 2nd in the league in runs batted in. And the foul ball cued the other way. 0-2. Couple of strikeouts and the double. That two-base hit for Cabrera, his 23rd of the season. One and two. He's limited at bats for Fielder against Shields. 0 for 2. Two balls, two strikes.
Well, James is trying to close him out with a couple of little backdoor cutters. Not quite getting the action on that pitch that he's looking for. You saw those numbers too with Prince Fielder, runners in scoring position. Detroit as a team has done a very nice job of that this year.
And a ground ball to the right side. That's picked up by Keppinger, who floats his throw to first to retire Fielder. A double, man left. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. Opening their four-game series tonight at Tropicana Field. Braves will have Desmond Jennings in the leadoff spot, followed by Carlos Pena and B.J. Upton. And Luke Scott hits cleanup. Ben Zobrist in right field. Then Jeff Keppinger, Brooks Conrad, Jose Lobaton, and Elliott Johnson completing Joe Madden's lineup.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Detroit Tigers is right-hander Max Scherzer. Been an up-and-down year for Max, as you see, with the record of 6-5, ERA of over 5. He's been pretty good his last three starts. ERA of 2.70 and over 20 innings of work that include 27 strikeouts. And you can see with that number right there, he can finish some people off.
Well, here's Desmond. Shortens on the bat, and the pitch is a strike. Second in the league in strikeouts. First in strikeouts per 9 innings. In fact, the only starting pitcher in the major leagues with a better strikeout to innings pitched ratio is Steven Strasburg over in the National League with Washington. He's at 11.8 per 9, and Scherzer 11.4 per 9 innings. That foul ball takes the count to 1-2.
I don't think there's another pitcher in the American League that's even in double digits. I think the next closest is like 9.92 or somewhere in that range, where Scherzer's up at 11.4. Leading the charge.
Desmond takes it down and away. It's a slider we'll see from Scherzer, and that can be a very good pitch for him as well.
He's got 3+ pitches with that slider, the heater, the changeup, and the low three-quarter arm angle.
The pitch inside. So full count. Joe Madden had dropped Jennings down in the order for the last couple of games. He had 3 hits yesterday in Kansas City, 3 out of 4, and he's back in the leadoff spot. And he fouls that pitch back. And he started, it was interesting to watch him because, frankly, he didn't have very good swings at pitches. And in that game yesterday, you could see him get better swings throughout the progress of that game.
Well, a couple hits will do that. You could see, you're right. The confidence grow as the game went along. It was pretty amazing.
3-2, broken bat, bouncing ball to third. Cabrera throws a strike to fielder. That's the first out.
Well, let's take a look at the Tigers defense as it lines up behind Scherzer in the outfield, left to right, Quentin Berry, Austin Jackson, and Brendan Bosch. Across the infield, third to first, Miguel Cabrera, Johnny Peralta, Ramon Santiago, and Prince Fielder. Alex Avila will be behind the plate. Tonight's Tiger defense brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarkets, home of the new Sweet Spot Burgers.
Here's Carlos Pena. Carlos at 198 with 10 home runs and second in the league in walks with 52. Scherzer doesn't walk a lot of hitters. And he throws a first pitch strike into Pena.
Well, tonight's game and all season long, Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida.
And a breaking ball in for a strike.
Boy, it looked on that one, too. He got a little bit more depth on it, took a little bit of speed off. You remember the one that he threw to Desmond Jennings was a sweeper. Didn't have as much depth and was 86. This one at 82, and you see the late finish on it right under the swing of Pena.
The pitch is down. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And that's that good changeup. You see the finish that he's able to get on it because of the arm speed.
And Pena checks on the pitch down. 2-2. Scherzer a month away from his 28th birthday. The 2-2. And that fastball in off the plate. Full count.
Well, I like the idea there from Scherzer. A couple of changeups away. You get Carlos Pena leaning out there. Try to close him with a pitch in, but you got to execute. And now Carlos should get something to hit out over the plate. Full count.
And he pulls it just foul outside the first base bag. Bob Davidson down there on the call.
Ooh, that's right. Okay, over under. First inning of a ball call. Because you know it's happening. Because
Can he wait beyond the 4th?
Ooh, over under 4. Okay. Okay. I'll say, I'm going to say he'll do it in the 5th.
All right. There you go. 5th.
Yeah.
Okay. He likes the balk call.
I like the call in the 4th inning by you.
3-2. Pena set to get another pitch. Scherzer was all set to deliver that pitch out of the stretch.
A little foreshadowing.
Rays hoping that he's just had a premonition. 3-2 and a line drive, but at Santiago, who was stationed in short right field from his second base spot. So Pena made a bid for a base hit, but with the defensive alignment, he hit it right to Santiago.
Well, this is why the shift needs to be banned by baseball. That's just the bottom line. Can't have that. That's a base hit.
Now here's B.J. Upton. So you're banning the shift.
Well, hopefully everybody can, have a sense of humor. I was just kidding. The Rays couldn't play.
It would be tough. Rays have been so good. at employing that shift, and it's really worked out most of the time for them. Just wouldn't be fair to deny them something that they perfected. 1-0 the count to BJ. This pitch darts down. 2 balls, no strikes. Three and 0. And a 3-0 swing popped into short left. Berry coming in using his speed. Boy, he was playing deep out there in left and had to turn on the afterburner. 3 up, 3 down. No score through 1.
Tonight's game is available in Espanol via SAP, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida.
Rays and the Tigers going at it to open their series tonight. Delman Young, the DH, leads it off. First pitch is away off the plate, 1-0. Shields 7-4 on the year. He opened the season 5-0, but over his last 8 starts, he's gone 2-4 and a base hit. Keppinger was shaded toward the middle, and that ball got through to his left.
Yeah, that was a good piece of hitting there by Delman Young, staying back and just shooting that ball the other way. He had a big hole to work with Keppinger pulled up the middle. And here's the thing, the pitch, little cutter out there, and it was up just enough. He shoots that gap.
Alex Avila will be the hitter, and Shields doing a little defensive positioning himself before Avila steps in.
Well, he knows what he wants to throw. He's faced Avila before. He knows what his pitches are doing, the action on them, so take some responsibility there.
And Avila bounces it foul. That's a strike.
You know, you see that. Pitchers that start to log innings face hitters a number of times. They know what their stuff is doing that night. And they know, hey, listen, if I execute my pitch the way I should, this is what I'm expecting. So you'll see the guys that have confidence in that ability to turn around and, hey, a few more steps to the left.
Well, willing to take responsibility for that.
That's right.
Nothing wrong with that. And a tap foul, 0-2. Well, the Rays start the day tied for third in the AL East with Boston. New York up by 5 on Baltimore and 6.5 in front of the Rays, and the Red Sox 8.5 in front of Toronto. Blue Jays home tonight against the Angels. And a cut and a miss. Avila is out of there. Changeup takes care of him. Strikeout number 3.
Well, you're always going to see the changeup take a prominent role with James Shields, but even more so tonight with such an aggressive swinging team, and Avila saw 3 in a row. That the best of the bunch, right below the zone. It's the big strikeout. Well, it's not that big, but it's a strikeout.
Yeah, they're all big. That's why they call it the big leagues.
Yeah, but if you say it when the guy's on first, then what do you say if he's on third?
It's big then, too.
Bigger.
Yeah.
Biggest, maybe.
We just conjugated big. One
Let's
ball,
do it
no
Latin.
strikes. The count down.
You do it Latin?
Peralta. Over to first base for Young. Angels leading Toronto 1-0 on Alberto Callaspo's 5th home run of the year. Dan Herron and Brett Cecil the matchup in that one. Pitch inside. 2-0. Well, the former Ray, Johnny Damon, helping the Rays cause. He's at a 3-run home run. And Cleveland has a 3-0 lead in the top of the 2nd at Baltimore. The Indians faltering a bit. They've lost 5 in a row, still running 2nd in the Central behind Chicago and ahead of Detroit. 2-1, a big cut, and Peralta fouls it back. Young at first. Peralta the hitter. Brennan Bosch is on deck. Peralta's another one of these guys, along with Cabrera, who has logged some success against Shields. The count is 3 balls and a strike. He's 9 out of 19 lifetime against the Rays right-hander with 3 home runs. And ball 4. So Shields loses the Detroit shortstop, and that pushes Young up to second base.
Well, this is the part of the Tiger lineup that really productivity has not been there. You look at those top 4 guys, what Barry has been able to bring to the team, Jackson, of course, Cabrera, fielder, but 5 through 9. Not very much going on. And this gentleman right here, Brennan Bosch, is in a horrible slump.
Yeah, his
right
average,
now.
You can see right there, it's 232. He had a 4-hit game at Wrigley Field on the 13th of June this month and has had 4 hits since. The pitch is down. 1 ball, no strike. So he's 4 of his last 37 right now after that 4-hit game in Chicago against the Cubs. And Shields is behind him. He takes the changeup low. 2-0. And now ball 3 is down. So 3-0 on the heels of the walk to Peralta. Ramon Santiago is on deck.
Very uncharacteristic for Shields. He works quickly, throws a lot of strikes.
And a fly ball. Straight away center. Upton is there to make the catch. Tag at second. Young's going to head to third. The throw into second base. So Young advances to third after the catch. 2 gone with men on the corners.
Man, if you're James Shields, you'll take that. Who cares? I mean, a 3-0 fly ball to center, that's out number 2. Delvin Young, if he wants to run over to third, that's great. But you realize if you're Shields right now, retire Ramon Santiago, and we're out of the inning.
Well, here is Santiago, switch hitting infielder. 228 for the year and 266 from the left side. Pitch is away. Fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Last time out for Shields against the Phillies. 5 innings. And a no decision in a 7-6 loss. And he is behind Santiago. He'll get a visit from Lobaton. Now, Shields coming into the game in 97 innings had walked only 31. And Scherzer in just over 84 had walked only 30.
And he also had a 7-walk game, Scherzer did.
That's right, he sure did. Now the 2-0 to Santiago. That's a strike on the inside corner, says Jerry Lane. Lane, the veteran umpire. He is the crew chief. Ground ball headed to second. Keppinger with the toss to Johnson for the force at second. Base hit and a walk. 2 left. The Rays coming up to hit here in the bottom of the second. And Luke Scott will lead it off, followed by Zobrist and Keppinger. For the Rays as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Scott just activated from the disabled list. A little back issue. Look at those numbers. Our Toyota trend in 21 career games, 10 home runs and a .358 average off Detroit pitching.
Okay, this is where you insert dumb quote. Well, if he played against the Tigers all the time, he'd be a Hall of Famer. Someone said it.
Yes, he would.
Yeah, well, right.
What strike the count to Scott? He takes a cut, fouls it back, 0-2. Yep. Only missed 16 games with the bad back. Had a couple of home runs in that rehab assignment with the Durham Bulls. And so He's ready to be activated. You don't want to waste those home runs at AAA and a rehab assignment. This one is fouled back. Not as difficult as runs have been for the Rays to come by lately.
And then with those numbers off the Tigers.
Yep. It's all coming together.
Yeah. Hey, I had a guy, Shane Andrews, at one point in my career.
I remember
that was
him.
Activated off the disabled list. They didn't even send him on a rehab assignment. I mean, he basically got out of a wheelchair and then went up there so he could hit off me because of the numbers he had against me. It's absurd. I'm not kidding you. Maybe because we went into that series, we sat down for a meeting, and our pitching coach, Mark Connor, was with Diamondbacks, said, hey, Shane Andrews on the DL. I was pitching the next night. Well, he's on the DL. He's at the field. They're going to send him out on a rehab. Well, with me coming in the next night, they activated him, put him right in the 3-hole.
What happened?
Well, I think at least 2 home runs in his first 2 at bats, maybe 3. I'm not kidding you.
That's terrible.
Isn't it?
It's just awful.
I've seen him flex on the big screen out there in Montreal with the PlayStation logo on his bicep more times than I care to.
Swing and a miss. Scott is out on strikes. So, I mean, it seems that every pitcher has a guy like that.
Yeah.
Who's just going to torment you, and he may be a good hitter against the rest of the league, or he may not. Probably not. But for some reason, did you ever figure out why he was so successful?
Yeah, because if this is his hot zone,
yep.
This is where every pitch went, right here. I had a tractor beam on me that I only could throw the ball right to the barrel, right in the middle of the plate. Didn't matter what it was, the rolling curveball or whatever I was featuring that day, a changeup or a fastball, and it got destroyed.
Well, you had great command of that hot zone, didn't you?
8 for 10 with 5 home runs.
Wow.
You can't even try to do. You couldn't do that in the backyard. I was actually.
Yeah. Did you knock him down at least?
No, and my dad still yells at me. He's like,
see?
"You are."
And your dad was right.
No,
your dad was right.
Yep.
Got to at least move his feet.
Well, I couldn't get out of the middle of the plate.
2-0 pitch, and Zobrist sends a fly ball to center. Jackson is there and puts it away. 2 gone.
I'll wrap up this Andrews talk real quick. I was on a rehab assignment with the Diamondbacks, and he was actually in AAA with whatever team that we were playing.
He just followed you around.
Yeah, and they sent me down there, and I thought, oh, my goodness. Well, come to find out, he was on the disabled list in AAA. Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, great, because if I pitch this, I'm not getting activated if he's in the lineup.
You thought the general manager didn't like you? Now we'll send him down and have to face Andrews on rehab. We can't bring him back.
I mean, those 5 earnings and 3 1/3 just aren't going to cut it, bud.
Here's Jeff Keppinger. Pitch inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah. 8 for 10, 5 homers, 2 doubles.
Yeah, what kind of slugging OPS is that? Is that like 2,000?
I don't know. We're going to call Sam Fold up. 2.5.
Is that possible to have an OPS off somebody of like 3,000?
Hey, we'll check in with our resident consultant Sam Fold. Let's see if we can get him on the dugout phone to figure that one out. What's your BAVIP? Scherzer can't find this one as it goes straight up into the air and then is finally picked up by Cabrera cutting across from third, and Keppinger has a base hit. How about that for a deflection?
Well, it must have hit right off of the shoe because that went, one hopper right off like maybe the heel, popped way up in the air. There's no way you're going to be able to throw Keppinger out or anybody at that point.
And look, Scherzer is a whirling dervish there. Round and round he goes looking for that ball. So it's a base hit for Keppinger. And here is Brooks Conrad. He's given the Rays some offense since joining the team. 5 out of 16 with a homer and 2 doubles. And the pitch. A strike called over the inside part of the plate. And we're getting the OPS calculated
Yeah, we did.
And it is?
It's not pretty.
It's a swing and a miss.
It's not only over 3,000, it's over 3,300.
Oh, yeah, look. 3.318.
I mean, really. It's embarrassing. I can't believe we're talking about it.
That's because you're secure enough to do it. Way to go. Personal growth moment, secure. 2 strikes the count to Conrad. 1 ball, 2 strikes. See what a great example you are for people across the spectrum watching our games, listening to you.
I'm starting to go catatonic.
That's happened in this game too, you know. The 1-2, a little roller foul up the left side. Max Scherzer, 27-year-old right-hander. He's out of St. Louis. He went to college at the University of Missouri. Conrad, a foul-tipped strikeout into the mitt of Avila to retire the side. We're through 2, no score.
On the mound, Mark Lee, Vice President of Brand Development and Marketing Communication at Florida Blue, is joining us right now. First of all, Mark, so many great community projects you're involved with Florida Blue in the Tampa Bay area. Tell us more about those and why they're so important to Florida Blue.
Yeah, you know, one of our missions, key missions, is to be involved in the community, and we're very happy to be involved here in Tampa. We've had a program called the At the Bay program, where we encouraged people from around the 8-county region to go for a walk, get exercise, get out the house, and just have fun while they're walking. Had a chance to win prizes and things of that sort. Very, very good program, a lot of excitement, a lot of participation.
Yeah, they had a thing called Walk to the Moon, right?
Walk to the Moon, and yeah,
you guys exceeded that goal.
Yeah, by 150,000 miles.
Tell us, that was an important program. What else is going on in the Tampa Bay area that Florida Blue's involved in?
We're also involved with the Museum of Science and Industry, and there's an exhibit there called The Amazing You, and it's basically an interactive an exhibit where you can learn about the human life cycle. And it's also focused on health and wellness. It's a fun, interactive exhibit. We encourage people to go there with their families and with their kids and just have fun and learn about the human life cycle.
Austin Jackson leads off with a single to center field for the Tigers here in the 3rd inning. Tell us about Florida Blue. Used to be a little, people know it by a different name, possibly.
Used to know us as Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, and we recently rebranded, renamed ourselves Florida Blue. we're still Florida's Blue Cross and Blue Shield plan. A couple of things went into that decision. Consumers now have choices, and Florida Blue allows us to focus on the state of Florida. We're putting the people of Florida first. We're putting the communities of Florida first, and we're also trying to focus on staying actively engaged with everybody across the state of Florida.
Mark Lee, guys, of Florida Blue, doing great things in the community. Mark, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
All right, right back to the booth.
All right, Todd, thank you. Jackson at first. With that base hit off the Shields changeup. Quentin Berry in the batter's box right now. Shields keeping an eye on Jackson. And the bunt. That ball is going to roll, and stay fair. Boy, it's a dandy bunt, and I don't think if they picked it up, they were going to get him anyway, and the only chance they had was to see if it would roll foul.
That was absolutely it. I mean, James Shields, that ball gets dropped by Berry. You see the action on it, just deadens it. There was no chance of getting him for as far as Shields had to run, so you just hope and pray it crosses that white line, and it didn't. You're hoping it comes off that ridge. Not enough.
Well, Berry can't get down that line. Second year in pro ball, he stole 55 bases in the minor leagues. He was originally drafted by the Phillies. He spent some time in the Padres system. In the big leagues here with the Tigers, and a line shot grabbed by Keppinger. Out at second base. They double off Jackson. Keppinger with a leaping grab, and then realized he had a shot at doubling up Jackson and just beat him back into the bag.
Yeah, Austin Jackson convinced that that ball was headed to the outfield. And watch Keppinger as he moves back to his position. That ball up just enough. And then the race to the bag. Great, great play by Jeff Keppinger. Full extension, showing some hops and getting that foot in there in time.
Keppinger just pulled a rebound down right off the rim when he caught that one.
And got the fast break started.
Yes, he did. So a double play, and here's Prince Fielder now. Ground ball, Keppinger to his left, knocks it down. Not going to have a play. The ball rolling into shallow right field. So Berry advances to second on the Fielder base hit. So it's first and second.
Well, moving to his left, he's got a chance at it. That ball just right off the heel of the glove. He's able to, that ball into the webbing. Keppinger makes that play, but as it bounces away, no chance to recover.
How about this? This has been a 5-pitch inning with all this stuff going on. How about that?
Well, we talked about this lineup. I mean, how aggressive they can be. You don't waste a whole lot of time. That's why you've got to make high-quality pitches, not just get me over.
Delman Young, he takes the pitch in for a ball. So they have Quentin Berry on second and Prince Fielder at first base. One and one. Delman Young pulling off the changeup. Tigers had Cabrera at second with 2 outs in the first. They had men at first and third in the second. Now men first and second in the third. And the pitch is low, covered up nicely by Lobaton. Two on the countdown. In on him, and he fouls it. Fastball running in toward the fist. So the count is 2-2. Two men on, 2 men out, 2-2 the count. And a ground ball headed into left, just to the right of Johnson. Jennings with a pickup. Berry's headed to the plate, and he will score standing as Detroit takes a 1-0 lead on the base hit by Delman Young, his second of the night. driving in his 28th run of the year.
Boy, I thought that Desmond Jennings was going to have a shot at Barry. As fast as he is, this ball gets to him before Barry's at third. It was going to take a heck of a throw because Barry is so fast. Just out of the dive of Elliott Johnson. And you see it right here. He comes up with it. Got a shot. Not to be.
So they have a run on 4 hits in the inning. Here's Alex Avila, the catcher. Pitch is down. So the Tigers have a run, 6 hits tonight. This game in the top half of the third. The speed of Quentin Berry. He reached on the bunt, scored from second on the base hit by Young. 1-1 to count to Avila. Berry at San Diego State. Played there for Tony Gwynn. Two balls and a strike. Avila hits it a long way toward the left field corner. That's going to low hop that wall. Jennings plays the carom. A run will score. Fielder crosses the plate. Young goes to third. Avila with power the opposite way doubles down the left field line. It's 2-0.
Well, we saw that last year. Alex Avila showing power. A couple of home runs off the Rays the other way. This pitch meant to be away ends up staying in, and Avila with a little inside-out swing there. And he shows you the kind of power he has. I don't think he was even convinced that ball was going to stay fair, but it low hops the low wall. The Tigers played another run.
Here's Peralta. First pitch to Peralta. Misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, this is a serious situation for Shields because Peralta has been very good through the years against Shields. 2 men in scoring position in what is already now a 2-0 game Detroit.
You're absolutely right. 2-0, you can deal with that. It's the third inning. You've still got 7 at-bats left. 4-0. Not obviously ideal.
Shields walked Peralta his first time around. Ground ball to third. Conrad up with it. Throw to first is in time, and that'll limit the damage. 2 runs scored, 2 men left. Bottom of the third coming, 2-0 Detroit.
Rays. Well, the Mosaic Company and the Rays are working together to end hunger through home runs for food. With each Rays home run, Mosaic donates $500 to Feeding America Tampa Bay. So far, $35,500 has been donated.
Jose Lobatone will lead off the bottom of the third. Then Elliott Johnson and Desmond Jennings. Rays facing Max Scherzer, the 27-year-old right-hander, and the pitch is down and in. Scherzer coming off a game Saturday against the Pittsburgh Pirates, in which he worked 6 innings and gave up 3 runs. Pitch all the way to the backstop, and he pitched that game 2 days after he had lost his younger brother Alex. And with the family mourning that loss, they collectively encouraged him to go out and pitch that game, helping the family deal with that loss. He's just 24 years old, and he said that he is a guy who had an effect on his older brother Max, and that he also loved baseball and was a numbers guy, and impressed upon him various aspects of the game and the numbers. And the number that he emphasized to Max Scherzer was the number of walks. He says you cannot walk people. Swing and a miss, and the count is 2-2, and except for that one game this year when he gave up 7, if you exclude that, he came into this game walking only 23, 30 for the year, and this is 16th start. Full count to Lobatone, 3-2.
Boy, I mean, just a free base run. They're absolutely right. Walks are killers.
Three-two now to Lobatone. He pops it up. Foul. That's going to carry out a play.
And that's the one thing that Scherzer can do also, is when he does fall behind here, obviously in a full count, he's got the kind of stuff that he can just flat out challenge you. And he can challenge you. You know, you don't want to make a habit of it, but he can challenge you out over the plate because of the quality of his pitches.
And a swing and a miss. Had him out in front right there. Third strikeout for Scherzer.
Well, great arm action there on the full count changeup. Well, tonight is the final night to send your favorite Rays players to the All-Star game this summer. Log on to RaysBaseball.com to show them how much you appreciate their hard work. Vote right now. Running out of time.
All-Star game on Fox, July 10. And a swing and a miss by Elliott Johnson. There's a liner into left. That's going to fall in front of Berry for a base hit. And Elliott Johnson is aboard. One out single for Elliott. Johnson continues to swing a very good bat from the left side. Elliott came into this game as a left-handed hitter, batting .337, singled his first time up. Here's Desmond Jennings, and a toss to first. Scherzer going over there and realized that Fielder wasn't aware that he might make a quick move, and so he just lollipopped that throw over there.
Fielder didn't see the graphic. Scherzer did.
Yeah, how about that if you do that and Bob Davidson is over there
yeah,
at first. Swing and a miss here by Desmond Jennings.
Hard to believe they got away with that.
Yeah, there's got to be a balk in there somewhere.
He would have got you on the velocity of the throw or something.
Yep.
So styling with that necklace, though.
Pitch inside. 1-1. So the Rays start their second time through the order here against Max Scherzer. And another little lob over there. Quick move and a lob. He threw a changeup on the pickoff move.
Didn't have good arm action. Didn't sell it.
No, he has an eephus pickoff move, and now the changeup. And here's a guy who has not been an easy man to run against.
No.
Over the last few years of his career. And a quick move there. Now he's getting serious.
Giving you a lot of different looks, and you're right. You go back 2010, 17 out of 30. That's a lot of caught stealings.
How about that? 13 caught stealings and a pickoff in the mix.
Yeah.
And a pitch that's a strike on the inside corner. One and two. One on, one out. And that pitch in, and that's a strike. Jennings went after that pitch, says Jerry Lane. Lane didn't have to ask for help. He said he committed and went around.
Well, and it sure looked like he did. From this angle right here, it's tough to tell, but when you looked at that side angle, he definitely started after that pitch, and see Jerry Lane with the point, letting him know.
Now it's Carlos Pena. Carlos lined to Santiago, who again the second baseman is stationed in short right field. Carlos hit the ball right to him his first time up. 1 ball, no strikes, off speed pitch away. Rays with their second base runner. Keppinger singled with 2 outs in the second inning. Elliott Johnson had a 1-out single. He's at first with 2 gone now. And the pitch is in there for a strike off speed. Angels lead the Blue Jays 4-2 in the top half of the 4th inning. White Sox and the Yankees in the bottom of the 4th. They are scoreless. Mark Trumbo hit a 2-run home run for the Angels, his 19th home run. Down and in. 2-1. That pitch from Scherzer, a fastball, and appeared to be one of those pitches that, like a heavy fastball.
Kind of yanked that ball, and that's what we've seen from him. When he really tries to jump on him, at times he'll take it right with him.
And a line shot that catches Fielder, and that will be out number 3. Boy, Pena hit that ball right at Fielder. Didn't knock him down, but it staggered him over there. Look at that. We're through 3, 2-0 Detroit. Tigers have had runners on base and in scoring position in every inning. They scored 2 in the 3rd. Now have a leadoff single from Bosch here in the 4th inning. Count to Santiago's a ball and a strike. Runner goes, and the pitch is sliced foul into the seats back at 3rd. Well, the Tigers had some movement on the bases there with Santiago at the plate.
Had a little play put on. This is a team that does not run very often. Just 39 attempts this year. Been successful 33 times, so a great percentage, but next closest team in fewest attempts is the Yankees with 47.
The pitch is down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Their offensive numbers are interesting in that their production pretty much in line with the Rays offense this year. A little chopper not hit hard to short. Johnson's going to have to go to first. Bosch safely in at second. Elliott Johnson to Carlos Pena to get Santiago.
Well, for all the latest updates on your Tampa Bay Rays, log on to TampaBay.com. From the diamond to the clubhouse, we bring you the in-depth news, stories, and scores 24 hours a day only at TampaBay.com, powered by the Tampa Bay Times.
Here's the top of the order, Austin Jackson. Jackson single in the 3rd. There's a strike. One on, one out. Jackson fouls this one out of play, and the count is 0-2. Well, Jackson got rid of that little leg kick, widened his stance a little bit, and he is still up there. In the past, in those high strikeout days, he'd have a lot of head movement up there.
Well, yeah, a lot of moving parts, leg kick, a lot of timing involved. You simplify things and makes it much easier to put in play. And for him with that great speed, it's a plus.
And he fouls it. And you see him now. He's only been up a couple of years, but in those 2 years and now this year, he's really made tremendous progress as a hitter. And what he does in the outfield for them, there are people, even with Fielder and Cabrera on this team, there are people who will tell you that at least the first couple months of this season, he's been the most valuable player the Tigers have had because of what he's done offensively and what he gives you all the time defensively. Base hit into left. Bosch will stop at 3rd base. The throw back toward the infield in that direction. It's 1st and 3rd. Jackson is 2 for 3 tonight.
Well struck by Jackson, but Bosch was not able to try to score there because as that ball was hit, he freezes out there at second, not knowing if that ball was going to be fielded by Conrad. Didn't want to run into an out. Look at Jackson just go down and get that pitch. Solid contact, and it squirts through into left field.
And now Quentin Berry. Berry 1 for 2. He bunted his way on in the 3rd. Scored a run. The pitch is a strike around the knees. Berry grew up in San Diego and walked on to their baseball program and made it. Learned a lot under Tony Gwynn. Was drafted by the Phillies. 1 ball, 1 strike. Made an impact here with the Tigers. The Tigers have had men in scoring position now in every inning tonight. And a little tap, first base side, glove by Pena. He can't get rid of the ball.
And he didn't tag him.
And he did not tag Barry, so everybody's going to be safe. Bosch scores. Pena had an idea of fielding that ball, forgetting about the runner, and trying to get the runner at the plate. Instead, he got nobody, charged with an error, and now it's 3-0.
Yeah, we see it again, the defensive miscues from the Rays. Carlos Pena right here is getting greedy. Look, this ball's chopped. He's thinking about the runner at the plate. That's all he's thinking about. Right there, you could have tagged him. Didn't do it. Couldn't come up with the ball. Bosch.
And I think even if he makes the throw, I don't think he gets Bosch.
Right. I mean, and he's standing right in front of you. Yeah, you're right. He comes up there and makes the throw. Probably not going to get him, and Barry's standing right in front of you, and you don't tag him. Now he's at first.
There's Cabrera, and he drives a base hit through the hole. Jackson's headed to the plate. Jennings' throw is in time. A pickup and a swipe tag by Lobaton to get Jackson at the plate. Barry stops at second on the base hit by Cabrera, and they deny the Tigers another run. Jackson out at the plate.
Well, here it is. A pitch that was out over the plate. Cabrera hammers it to left. Desmond didn't get Barry last time, but a better throw. It's on target. And they're saying that Lobaton must have got him on the tag on the backside, back of his hamstring, or right there.
Jerry Lane on top of the call.
Yep.
How about that?
Well,
so it's still 3-0. Prince Fielder and a ground ball into short right field. Keppinger's going to make the play there. And so that will take care of this inning. The Tigers add a run. It's 3-0 mid-4. Close play there at the plate in the top half as the Rays cut down Austin Jackson. That limited the damage to just the 1 run. So the Tigers with 2 runs in the 3rd, another run in the 4th inning. Desmond Jennings getting an assist. And B.J. Upton opens the bottom of the 4th inning. Pitch is outside, 1-0. Scherzer, 4 strikeouts. He's allowed 2 hits. Big cut and a miss. Rays have been out hit 10-2, but they're still in this game 3-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. BJ shoots this one foul out of play. And the pitch just missed. 2-2.
Well, that's that sweeping version of the slider, trying to catch that outside corner.
Two balls, 2 strikes. BJ pops one foul. That's going to carry out of play. Well, the Rays have dropped 3 straight coming into this first game of the series. Tigers have lost 2 in a row. And a foul ball. Tigers lost 13-9 to Texas last night. And you know the story with the Rays coming out of Kansas City, losing 3 in a row to the Kansas City Royals. Two balls, 2 strikes the count, and BJ is out on strikes. Strikeout number 5 and the first out. And let's get the answer to tonight's AT&T trivia question for the 5 right-handed pitchers with 500-plus strikeouts since the start of the 2010 season. Well, there they are. And as we mentioned, 2 of them here in the building tonight. Justin Verlander. Verlander will be on the mound tomorrow night. And, of course, James Shields 4th on that list. Verlander topping the list with 582 strikeouts. Here's Luke Scott. Pitch is high. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Now 3-0. One of those Coors Field games in Denver today. Colorado 11, Washington 10 in 11 innings. Bryce Harper hit his 8th home run. They had 34 hits in that game, 20 for Colorado. And Harper's home run, 1 of 4 home runs in the game.
Hey, is Coors Field starting to get back to Coors Field of old?
Yeah, you know, they're starting, you know, they thought they had solved the baseball
humidor
and the altitude and all of that. But I'm not so sure they've done that. And then the other thing about Coors Field, as we all know, not only because of the altitude is it a good home run venue, but it's big enough so there are a lot of extra base hits. There's a lot of ground to cover out there.
Absolutely. You got to play those outfielders deep so you get more blue pits that fall in.
Three-2 now to Luke, and he draws the walk. The Rays have a base runner with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Circle K RBI leaders here with the Rays. Luke Scott, even though he's been on the DL, still topping the list of runs batted in among Rays hitters.
Yeah, how about that? At 35, he's only played in 2/3 of the season. And that's what this lineup so desperately needs, is production.
Well, they're without Matt Joyce. Scott just back tonight. First pitch to Ben Zobrist is a strike. And without Longoria, it's really hard to say. You can't really get a definitive timetable on Longoria right now where he is. One strike to count. It's been frustrating for Evan and for the Rays lineup. High pop-up foul. Cabrera, the third baseman, down in the coaching box. 2 outs with Scott still at first.
Yeah, and Ben Zobrist, he's a good fastball hitter, but Scherzer shot that one up in the zone. That's a frustrating at bat. You get the pitch you want, it's just a little bit up, and you pop it up into foul territory.
Well, Cleveland continues to lead Baltimore. Shin-Soo Choo hit a home run. It's his 7th. It's 4-0 in the bottom of the 5th at Baltimore. Cleveland leading. And Keppinger takes the pitch for a strike. Alejandro Diaz hit his 5th home run of the year for the White Sox, and they lead the Yankees in the bottom of the 5th in New York, 1-0. 1 strike count here to Keppinger. One ball, 1 strike. Rays no runs, couple of hits and a walk here. 2 outs into the 5th. And the count is now 2-1. Rays charged with an error in the top of the inning. That play also went as a fielder's choice, and with that fielder's choice ruling, the run is earned. A cut and a miss. So Keppinger with a 2-2 count.
Boy, nasty pitch there by Scherzer in a 2-1 count. Count you want to be aggressive in if you're the hitter, and Scherzer comes up with that little slider.
Yeah,
keeps it short at 88.
The variation of the slider is problematic for Rays hitters, any hitter facing this guy.
He tries to sweep it to the righties and give a little depth to the lefties.
Fly ball into short right field. Bosch is there, and the Rays going to walk and leave Scott at first. We go to the 5th, 3-0 Detroit. Field. Tigers with a 3-0 lead. They picked up 2 runs in the 3rd, added another tally in the 4th. James Shields back to the hill. Well, you can't beat 72 degrees after the weather the Rays played in on the road trip. 97 in Washington, D.C., 100 plus in Kansas City. Hillman Young, fly ball the opposite way, and Zobrist is there and right. One pitch, one out in the fifth. Time for the Just for Men auto stop. Foolproof stat. Let's take a look at James Shields starting on 4 days and 5 days rest. He prefers 4 days with an earned run mark of 2.40. Just as the Rays can count on James Shields, you can count on Just for Men auto stop for foolproof results.
Well, James Shields has his set routine, pitching on that 5th day. Likes to stick to it. The numbers bear it out in a big way.
Alex Avila. He doubled in a run in the third, down into the left field corner. And he takes a pitch around the knees for a strike. Yankees have tied the White Sox in the bottom of the fifth on a double by A-Rod. And they've just gone out in front on a double by Robinson Cano. So it's 2-1 in the bottom of the fifth. New York leading Chicago. 2 strikes the count to Alex Avila. Angels lead the Blue Jays, bottom of the fifth in Toronto. That's a 5-3 game. Pitch thrown into the dirt. It's 1-2. Peralta will be next. Pitch is thrown into the dirt. 2-2. There's Peralta. And he continues to be a nemesis for Shields. And strike 3 called. Fastball away from Avila, and he took it. It'll be strikeout number 4.
Shields had worked Avila all over the strike zone and then comes back here. 89, that little cut. That's all that was. And I mean very little, but it catches that outside corner and catches him looking. That's exactly how that pitch is designed to work.
Now Peralta, first pitch. He fouls it right back. Strike 1.
Shields continues to work quickly and continues to battle. I mean, having given up 10 hits through the first 4 innings.
And he's looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. And the breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-2. He retired the first 2 hitters in the first. Now the first 2 hitters in the fifth. And a base hit into left. Peralta is aboard with the 11th hit of the night for the Detroit Ball Club. Experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Hancock Bank Club, offering extraordinary seating and luxuriously decorated lounge and dining areas. The Hancock Bank Club features an upscale menu and exclusive drink options. For tickets and more info, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. First pitch to Brennan Bosch, a fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch outside, 2-0. The most hits Shields has ever given up in a single outing would be 12. He's done that 4 times, and the Tigers have 11 hits tonight. 2 outs into the fifth. Shields continues to battle through this lineup. And he throws a strike to Bosch. And the pitch. That's a strike. 2-2. How about this? We're only in the 5th inning, and every member of the Tiger lineup has at least one hit, except the number 9 spot. Santiago's 0 for 2. Tap foul in behind the plate umpire Jerry Lane.
Well, and Shields has been able to limit the damage and still keep this Rays team in the game at just 3-0 here in the top of the 5th inning.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And a strike is called. Bosch out of there. That retires the side. He started that one wide and cut it over the corner. 3-0. We're in the middle of the 5th. Detroit. Right financial future today at SagicorLifeUSA.com. And by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. From Tropicana Field, the Rays tonight opening a 7-game homestand. First of 4 against Detroit. Brooks Conrad in here to lead off the bottom of the 5th, and the first pitch is a strike call. Max Scherzer on the hill for Detroit. Brooks Conrad at third base tonight. And the pitch is a strike call. We mentioned last inning Evan Longoria, no real reading on when he'll be back. The Rays have now gone 25 and 27 since he has been out of the lineup. Pitch inside to Brooks Conrad. The Rays have utilized 8 different third basemen. In fact, with the lineup because of injuries and matching up, the Rays have had 10 different players in the cleanup spot and 8 different third basemen. with the injury to Longoria. There's a shot well hit into right field. Bosch back, and that's going to be off top of the wall. Here's Conrad digging hard for second, and he's in there ahead of the throw. Brooks Conrad doubles off the top of the right field wall to lead off the home half of the fifth.
Wow, how about that arm by Bosch? This ball gets ripped right here, right out over the plate, a little bit elevated. Conrad just drills it. Look at that. That's just picture perfect swing right off the top of the wall. But watch this throw by Bosch. I mean, turn, step, and right there.
Yeah, Conrad hustles. One thing we notice, he likes pitches up, and he hustles. And he did right from the get-go there to just beat that throw.
Have you ever seen a player that doesn't wear batting gloves not hustle?
No. But
they go hand in hand.
Yes, they
literally.
Do. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch is outside. 2-0. Yeah, for Brooks Conrad, you just pick up a little dirt, rub it on your hands, and take a big cut.
Yeah, I was never a big fan of dirt, so I tip my hat to Brooks Conrad.
Runner at second, Conrad's third double. Two balls, no strikes. And that's a strike call. 2-1. Rays have been out hit 11-3. Trying to get on the scoreboard here. Joaquin Benoit doing some limbering up in the bullpen. He's just doing that for his own benefit, maybe. There's a strike. It's 1-1 now.
It might be one of those, routines that you have. Some guys will use tubing, stretch, maybe just playing catch, although he's moving back up there on the mound.
Check of the runner. And a turn, but nothing doing. That's the fifth inning, and when Scherzer started that turn, Bob Davidson had his back to the mound, so not tempted to interpret that as a ball. And a cut to miss. Lobaton out on strikes.
Well, I think Scherzer just flat out fooled Lobaton with that fastball. That was not an aggressive swing on a 2-2 heater. Watch how he kind of is reaching for that baseball. That's like a protection swing, like, uh-oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be. And you see how that ball was blown by him.
Well, he struck him out with a changeup back in the third, and it's almost as if that's what he was looking for there.
That's what he swung at, was the
away.
Yep.
Pitch pulled foul up the right side, so that was the thinking that went into that swing.
Well, that's why hitters, for the most part, don't guess off speed. Sometimes they'll guess off speed, but boy, you're looking changeup. They don't like to get beat on fastballs. That's what can happen right there. I think I just confused myself. I'm not really sure what I said right there.
We'll read the transcript back later.
Please don't. It's embarrassing.
The 0-1 pitch in on Johnson. Fastball, and Elliott fouls it.
There's nothing worse than just droning on about something and actually feeling dumber for having spoke. It made no sense.
That's what stenographers are for.
Yeah, well, I don't need to see the transcript to know that that was just pointless. Moving on.
Runner at second with one out. Here we are in the bottom of the fifth. An 0-2 count on the hitter, Elliott Johnson. This one low and covered up by Avila. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jose Bautista's hit his 26th home run. A 3-run blast in the bottom of the 5th, and the Blue Jays lead the Angels 6-5.
I'm going to tell you what, how quickly can he get it going?
Yep.
We saw them earlier in the year, not much in the power department, not much in the average department. And boy, here before you know it, 26 bombs.
He has 14 this month, and he's got a couple days left. That pitch boring in on Johnson, and he fouled that one to stay alive. Rays and the Tigers tonight. And tomorrow night, Saturday night, and then opening the new month of July, Sunday afternoon. Yankees come in following Detroit. Pitch away, 97. A lot of time to make that decision, and it was just off the plate.
Just off. That's the ability that he has as he picked up the strikeout of Lobaton, an unproductive out. You'd like to at least move Conrad to third. Got an opportunity to do the same thing here with Elliott Johnson.
Elliott has worked the count full after getting behind in the count. Taking a couple of close pitches, and it's a 3-2 count. And a turn, but nothing doing. Nobody covering the bag there, and Conrad back in. Bob Davidson, knowing that he is being taunted right now.
He's checked out.
3-2. And a little looper into center for a base hit. Here comes Conrad around. He will score, and the Rays get on the board. That's going to make it a 3-1 ball game. Off speed, and Johnson stroked it right back into center field to pick up the RBI.
I mean, right off the end of the bat. Here it is. Here's the pitch. Right there, right off the end, but just enough. Just flips it right out there. Conrad is going to come around, score easily, and the Rays have climbed right back 3-1.
Yeah, it's a 2-run game. That's how big that extra run that was cut down at the plate could be in this game. There's a certain amount of psychology that goes with that as well. If you're down 4-0 as opposed to 3-0, now it's 3-1, and the Rays will get the potential tying run to the plate in Desmond Jennings.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you're one swing away from tying this back up.
Runner takes off, pitch hit on the ground towards second, safe at second and out at first. Well, the Rays had Johnson on the move, and that prevented the double play. By the time it was picked up by Peralta, who tried to step on the bag, Jennings is out at first, but Johnson was safely in at second.
Well, everybody moving towards second base. Desmond reaches out, hits a little 3-hopper there, and you see Elliott's able to get in, but still the throw over to first gets the second out for the Tigers.
Well, it will be Carlos Pena with Elliott Johnson on second base. Carlos has lined out twice. Once to the second baseman Santiago in short right field, where he again is stationed. Last time a screamer down to Fielder at first. Pitch inside, 1-0.
Well, this is just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one. Look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Pena with a 1-0 count. One and one. Conrad doubled off the right field wall, scored on the 1-out base hit by Johnson. Elliott at second base with 2 outs now. Pitch down and in. 2 balls and a strike. Pitch just a bit away.
And Scherzer ramping up that velocity, trying to make the perfect pitches here to Carlos Pena. Got a runner out at second base, 2 outs. By doing that, he's gotten a 3-1 count here for Carlos. Should get something good to hit. He does have the base open.
(3-1). Carlos lifts a high pop foul, headed for the stands. Cabrera chases it, but it's out of play. With you tomorrow, Verlander and Price tomorrow night. Coverage begins at 6:30. Verlander 8-4, and David Price 10-4.
Marquee matchup tomorrow.
It'll be fun here at Tropicana Field. 3-2. A fastball strikes him out. 97. The velocity on the fastball to get Pena. Rays on the board. Down 3-1 through 5. That helped to stage the 2-run inning for Detroit. Before the inning was over, Delman Young single into left, scored 1. Alex Avila sent a double into the left field corner. That got Prince Fielder home. Then this little fielder's choice and an error allowed Brennan Bosch to score. The Rays on the board on the Conrad double and the Elliott Johnson base hit in the bottom of the 5th inning. So as we go to the 6th, the Rays have been out hit 11-4. They trail 3-1, and back to the hill goes James Shields. Shields to face Ramon Santiago. And he sends a fly ball into center. Upton is there, and BJ makes the catch. That's the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out. Right now, let's check in with Todd.
Hey, Dwayne, a lot going on this weekend. You mentioned Price Verlander. Zimbear made it back after being overheated in Kansas City. He's at Tropicana Field as the giveaway tomorrow. So our Autoway text poll question is this. Which event are you most looking forward to? Which piques your interest the most? Friday, Zimbear, plus that matchup, Price Verlander, plus it's a Friday Fest presented by Captain Morgan. Saturday, you've got the Retro Night uniforms and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Sunday, you've got the Shields bobblehead and a Kids Sunday Family Fun Day. TV1 for the Zimbear, TV2 for Retro Night and the concert, TV3 for Sunday with the Shields bobblehead. Text your votes to 789-789. Results in the Rays Live postgame show, guys.
1 strike to count to Austin Jackson. Pitch is down 1-1. The question has been posed about the throwbacks that Todd. Question is, did Todd design the throwback jersey?
Well, as much as he wore them on the road trip, and I'm not even talking
I
just
saw him
at
in the
the
hotel
field.
lobby.
Yeah, right. First thing in the morning, going down to get the paper.
Yeah,
come on now, with the hat too.
Yeah, but his hair looked good.
Well, you know how he does it.
Yeah.
We saw it yesterday. We caught it on tape.
Mm-hmm.
He loves the wet head.
Yeah,
and that's how he gets that hair to lay perfect.
Yep. In 105-degree temperature. And
yep.
Got the Zimbear right there on his shoulder.
Well, which one would you pick? What day?
Well, those are great days, aren't
I
they?
know.
Yeah.
I know.
I actually saw those throwback jerseys in the form of T-shirts. I like them better in T-shirts.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See, I would go with tomorrow.
I like the Zimbear.
Yeah, the Zimbear.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's the back to the game.
That's the throwback that wasn't. That's a figment of an imagination. If the Rays had a team back then.
Back to the game.
Yep.
The Zimbear.
Yeah, Zimbear's great.
Saw Zim today, by the way.
Yep.
Looks fantastic.
Yep.
Looking good. And that's what I told him, too. I said, oh, sure. So you got your toy coming out tomorrow night. Now you're going to come back to the field.
Yeah, there you are.
And he sat me down, gave me a talking to, and sent me on my way.
Oh, a base hit shot through the middle. And so Jackson is aboard. See, you couldn't package the Zimbear with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
No.
It would be too much.
Too much,
yeah,
too soon.
Way too much. So the Zimbear by itself.
And then
work.
you've got the pitching matchup to go along with it.
Yeah.
But that, you couldn't have foreseen that.
No, but really,
it's a big night.
Fate takes care of that. Zimbear, great pitching matchup, premier. It's got to be baseball related.
Yeah,
so that works.
A close second would have been the Shields bobblehead.
Martin
because
Finley right there examining the Zimbear.
And yeah, he is.
Yep.
I like the high right finger from Shields on the point.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the personal thing.
Yeah, well, I know that you guys work together on that. So
helped him design it.
I mean, Todd designs the clothing. You design the gesticulating.
Like Christmas morning.
Todd has done the brazier. He's a big part of that, and the Letterman sweater. And maybe we'll have to ask him to get the real skinny on this if he's involved on the shirts. There they go. Look at that. The Zimbear. And the throw to first skips past Pena. Jackson's going to round second, thinking about third, but he hangs on. And Austin Jackson now finds himself in scoring position.
Well, James Shields obviously concerned with Austin Jackson, the potential of a stolen base, and he gives him the good move, and Shields is so accurate with those throws over to first, and that one just got down a little bit. This ball's going to skip. Carlos just can't come up with it. You know, that's a tough play right there for Carlos, trying to come up with the scoop and have to then jump over Austin Jackson.
Third error of the year charged to Shields. And now Barry, a big cut on a changeup. So Jackson with a single to move up to second on the error. Got to strike the count on Barry. He got credit for a run batted in on the fielder's choice in the fourth inning. Now he's going to bunt again, and a good one. Shields with a pickup. Quick throw to first, and a nice pick at first there by Pena. Jackson moves to third.
Oh, that is a really good play by James Shields, because that was a good bunt by Barry, and we know that he can run. And James Shields getting all the way over to that third base line, the spin and the good throw. I mean, this is a great play.
I'm going to tell you, this is the first time we've had a chance to see Barry.
Yeah.
And how refreshing is it to see a guy who can handle the bat like that, who can bunt.
Yeah, I mean, in this lineup, too, with Jackson in front of you, and then this guy and Prince Fielder behind you. Talk about a dynamic front four.
It's Cabrera. The pitch is a strike. I mean, what Barry does, you know, Jackson's made such great progress leading off, and then Barry, he's just going to aggravate you with what he does up there. And there's a base hit into center field through. Jackson scores. And again, it's a 3-run game, 4-1.
Oh, that one hurts, because Shields was that close to getting out of that inning. But boy, that's the trouble. You get around to Cabrera and Fielder, especially Cabrera with his ability. Think about his hits tonight. He took a ball in and drove it to right center off the wall. He yanked one in the hole between short and third, and now he goes right back up the middle. The guy just hits all over the park.
That's 13 hits for Detroit, the most ever given up by Shields in a single outing in this, his 200th career start. And a bouncer foul outside of first, strike one. So it's 4-13-0 for Detroit, 1-4-2 for the Rays. The Rays have committed 66 errors this year with the 2 tonight. Fielder fouls it the other way, 0-2. Big shift on for Fielder. Pitch away, 1-2. Conrad alone on the left side of the infield. Keppinger in short right. Liner into center. Upton is there to make the catch. 1 run scores. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 4-1 Detroit. At the bottom of the 6th inning, the Rays starting the night with a record of 40-35 as we take a look at our Valero scoreboard in the American League. Cleveland leading Baltimore 7-2. Blue Jays trailing the Angels 8-6. Boston and Seattle later. Yankees leading in the top of the 8th at home over the White Sox 2-1, and Oakland 4-1. Bottom of the 3rd at Texas. B.J. Upton. Pitch is down, a ball and no strikes. Upton out on strikes in the 4th inning. Scherzer got him with a slider. 2-0. Scherzer has 7 strikeouts tonight and has walked only 1 man. Pitch is popped up, a fastball in on him. Cabrera down at 3rd. BJ is the first out in the 6th.
Number 30, Luke Scott.
Luke Scott just activated. Luke has struck out and drawn the only walk issued by Scherzer. It's foul back, strike 1. Scherzer starts him with a fastball. Scherzer 6-5 coming into this game, with a .512 earned run average. Pitch down and in, and Scott held up. Good slider. Boy, with the stuff we've seen tonight, he's had good stuff. Hard to imagine an earned run average over 5 for Scherzer.
No doubt. And you talk about his dominance with the strikeouts, especially strikeouts per 9. Far and away the leader. Doesn't walk a lot of guys. All sets up perfectly to have much better numbers. Although
2-1 the count.
Although I did write down this little tidbit. You know what his BIP is? We know that the league average is around 290. 373 coming into play today.
Wow.
So, well, a little skew there.
Yeah, more hits than innings pitched by around 10.
I knew it was significant, but I wasn't really sure why. Where's Sam?
Again, a call into Sam Fuld on the dugout phone.
His inbox is going to be full.
Yep. He's just not even taking our calls now.
No, he's completely stoned me since that day.
Yep. Either we really offended him, or he's just, for his own reasons, decided he wants nothing to do with us.
Listen, he spent a game up here. He walked out and said, "Lost cause," and went his own way. And I can't blame him.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Upton has popped out. Zobrist next, and a full count pitch to Luke Scott. Down to first. Fielder fields it and steps on the bag. Off speed, got Scott right there.
Well, Saturday on Baseball Night in America, Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers head to St. Pete to take on the Rays as both teams look to gain ground in their divisions, or the Mets battle the Dodgers. Baseball Night in America telecast presented by Budweiser begins Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, only on Fox. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. I would assume that would be the game and the start time in this particular area.
It would only make sense.
It does.
Here is Ben Zobrist fouling a fastball right back. Strike 1. One and one to count. Pitch is popped up. Cabrera, the third baseman, making the call, running Peralta off, and Peralta said, "Yeah, great, you take it." So 1, 2, 3. We're through 6, 4-1 Detroit. Tropicana Field, opening game of the homestand. Well, here is the story of June. The Rays on June 1st up by a game on Baltimore with a mark of 30-22. The Rays have since gone 10-13. The Yankees, who are running third, have gone 18-5. So they start the day 5 up on the Orioles, 6.5 in front of the Rays and Boston. Delman Young leads off, sending a fly ball to center. B.J. Upton puts that one away. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 7th. The Yankees will be coming in here following this 4-game series against the Tigers, and they will be without CC Sabathia on the DL with a groin strain, and later that same day, Andy Pettitte with a broken ankle, expected to miss at least 6 weeks with that. Casey Kochman hit him and broke the ankle.
Well, first of all, 60-day DL, 2 months right there, and the Sabathia, will miss 2 starts. You hope. I mean, groins.
Well, left groin, as we discussed earlier.
Yeah, that's your push-off leg, and when you strain a groin, obviously it depends on the severity of it, but that's not an easy injury to come back real quick from.
1 strike to count to Avila. He sends this one into left toward the line. Jennings over there and makes the catch. 2 quick outs here in the 7th inning. Shields really has not had a breather inning tonight. Made 103 pitches. J.P. Howell busy in the bullpen, and 13 hits allowed through the front 6 innings of this game.
Well, you want to talk about the aggressiveness of this Tiger lineup. I mean, almost 7 full innings here for Shields, and those numbers that you just spoke of.
Foul ball by Peralta, first pitch swinging.
13 hits, just 103 pitches.
Peralta singled in the 5th. He walked in the 2nd, in between, grounded out to 3rd. It's a 1-1 count. One ball and 2 strikes. It's Phil Koch, the left-hander. Villarreal, the right-hander. Well, Koch has been tough on the Rays over the last few seasons. 1-2 still. The count on Peralta after that foul ball. Pitch is up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tap foul. 4 runs, 13 hits, no errors for Detroit tonight. A run, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Rays. Tigers have left 9 men on base. The Rays have stranded 4. And that, James Shields thought, was strike 3.
I was taking the headset off. Boy, that was a good front door cutter. And I don't know where Jerry Lane had that, but it sure looked good.
3-2. There's a wave and a foul tip strikeout. Peralta down on strikes. It's a 4-1 ball game as we take our Gulf Coast Honda dealers 7th inning stretch. End of the home half of the 7th inning tonight at Tropicana Field. Rays facing Max Scherzer, the 27-year-old right-hander. Jeff Keppinger will lead off the inning, then Brooks Conrad and Jose Lobaton behind him. The pitch to Keppinger is a strike. One and one. Rays have been out hit 13-4. Shields allowing 13 hits through 7 innings. Most hits allowed in a game in the big leagues this year by a starting pitcher is 14 by Matt Harrison. The Rays had 14 hits of Matt Harrison in 5 innings over in Texas back at the end of April when they beat the Rangers 8-4. 2 balls and a strike. The Rays finished that game with 16 hits. The Rangers had 13, and Shields, interestingly enough, was the winning pitcher in that game. Three balls and a strike. One pitch, and it's inside, taken for ball 4. Keppinger is aboard. Follow your Tampa Bay Rays all season long with a 7-day-a-week subscription to the Tampa Bay Times. Subscribe today and get one of the top 10 sports sections in the country. For an exclusive subscription offer, go to tampabay.com/Rays offer. Jimmy Leland heads to the mound here after the leadoff walk in the 7th inning. And that's going to be it for Scherzer. And Scherzer departs. 6 innings plus 1 hitter in the 7th. Call to the bullpen. Brought to you by Metro PCS, wireless for all. Inning. Max Scherzer out of the game. We had him at 111 pitches, 6 innings plus, a couple of walks, 7 strikeouts, 4 hits. And he departs in favor of the left-hander Phil Koch. Turns Brooks Conrad around to hit from the right side.
It's been an inconsistent year for Koch. You see the ERA 3.73, almost a strikeout an inning, but that opponent's average at 3.20. Offering a glimmer of hope here for the Rays.
And the pitch is a strike to Conrad. Fastball. Pitch drops low. 1-1. Koch last worked on the 23rd in Pittsburgh. Ground ball pulled foul. 1-2. Koch has been very good at Comerica Park, the Tigers' home park, and not so good on the road. It's quite a disparity. 1.65 ERA in 19 home appearances, and in 15 appearances on the road, and even 6. How about that? Line drive, base hit into left. Keppinger around second. He's going to go to third. It's bobbled by Berry. And now they're going to wave Keppinger home. Into second goes Conrad. And the Rays are on the board with their second run of the night. Keppinger scores from first as Conrad lined it into left. A 2-base hit, and Keppinger will score on the error.
Well, how about that? Breaking ball stays out over the plate. Conrad gets around it, gets it out into left field, and then Quentin Berry coming over here for a seemingly pretty Easy little scoop right there. Lets the ball go off the thumb of the glove, and Kepinger's got to reroute himself and trot home. How about that? Cut the lead in half. Got a runner out at second with nobody out.
And here's Jose Lobaton. So the Rays again get the potential tying run to the plate. Koch delivers low. 1 ball, no strikes. Rays make it a 4-2 ball game with nobody out. Conrad in scoring position. The foul, that's back and out of play. 1-1. Lobaton against the lefty. He's been better from the right side. Struck out twice against Scherzer. As a left-handed hitter, batting .321 right-handed. There's a 1-1 count against Phil Koch. The pitch, and he pops it up. Cabrera with the catch down at third.
Boy, change of speed right there. Saps all that power right out of Lobaton's swing. Everything was committed early, nothing left, and a little pop-up. Well, that's the second time that Lobaton's come up with a runner at second, an opportunity to at least move him up. Struck out and pop out to third.
And here's Elliott Johnson having the lefty in, turns him around, and Elliott a better hitter from the left side. 2 for 2 tonight with a run batted in. And a ground ball to the right side. Santiago with the pickup. His throw to first. That advances Conrad to third, but with 2 outs. 2 gone with a man in third, a run home. It will be the top of the order. Desmond Jennings. Jennings 0 for 3, a couple of ground balls and a strikeout in between the two. Pitch is wide. 1 ball, no strikes. Jennings 0 for 1 lifetime against Koch. That was a strikeout. And he tracks this fastball too low. 2-0 now. And that's going to be a strike down around the knees.
Now the previous pitch looked like it was better than that one.
Two and one. Koch goes right back there and picks up strike 2.
He has dotted that spot the last 3. There you go.
Koch's thinking he should be out of the inning right now. The count is 2-2. A foul ball. Jennings a little piece of the fastball. in the bottom of the 7th. Detroit opened the scoring with 2 runs in the 3rd. They've led throughout the night. 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 4-1. Now it's 4-2. And the 2-2. That is down. The slider. And the count runs full. Jennings could keep it going. Carlos Pena would be next. And Carlos has had some success against this guy. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And a foul ball straight back. And out of play. So we'll see another 3-2 pitch. Carlos Pena on deck, hoping to get a chance to bat here. He's 3 for 6 lifetime with a home run against Phil Koch. So Jennings trying to somehow get aboard to keep the inning going. (3-2) and he draws the walk. That pitch down. Those were some close pitches. And Jennings walks. 1st and 3rd for Carlos Pena now.
Well, it became a coin flip down there at the bottom of the zone. You see 8. The highlighted pitch was the last pitch, and some of them were strikes, some of them weren't. That's where it gets frustrating, not only for the pitcher, but also for the hitter, because you're not really sure. Is it or isn't? I don't know. Works out for the Rays here.
Well, the Tigers talk it over on the mound before they face Carlos Pena. This will be the first time the Rays have had the go-ahead run at the plate. 2 men on with 2 men out. Carlos has lined to second. He lined to first on a ball that really caught Prince Fielder, as opposed to the other way around in the 3rd. Then he went 3-2 against Scherzer in the 5th inning and struck out when Scherzer pumped up to a 97-mile-per-hour fastball to get him. So here's Carlos in the bottom of the 7th. Jennings at first. Conrad aboard at 3rd. And a swing and a miss.
Well, that had predetermined swing written all over it. You don't see Carlos usually go out of the zone like this. But, I mean, he swung at a pitch that just wasn't there. I'm sorry, you don't see that very often. He missed that ball by 2.5 feet.
Koch started him with that slider in the dirt. Pena back in. And he bounces this one foul. Puts him down 0-2. A 2-strike count to Pena. Rays have closed the gap to 2. And Pena takes strike 3 call. Coke to him 3 sliders. Strikes him out looking. We're through 7. It's 4-2 Detroit.
As we head to the 8th, Tigers coming to bat with Brennan Bosch. We have Deanna Ward with us, of Big Brothers Big Sisters. You have a big group here tonight.
Absolutely.
What's the main message you want to get out about Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Well, first we want to say thank you to the Rays. We are having a great time. Big Brothers Big Sisters is all about mentoring. We pair kids with caring, trained, screened mentors, and they're having a ball. And the fun part about it is that's a good way to mentor kids. Enjoy a ball game. Spend one-on-one time. And we see that when kids have a mentor, they do better in school. They're less likely to get in trouble.
What's the website that people should go to?
bbbs.org. We're looking for volunteers, great ones. I'm sure there are a lot here in the stands.
Thank you so much, Deanna. Back to the game, guys.
All right, Todd, thank you. The pitch is foul down the left side toward the bullpen, and that's Joaquin Benoit trying to get out of the way of that one, checking out his teammate Brennan Bosch, who sent a nice little line drive down there into the Detroit bullpen. Two strikes the count. There's Jake McGee now up in the Rays bullpen. It's now 1-2. Ground ball down to short. Elliott Johnson's throw. One away. So 1 out in the 8th. James Shields back out here. And Ramon Santiago. Pitch is a strike. 13 Detroit hits tonight. Santiago, the only spot in the lineup without a hit. It's 1-1 now. Ray's record for most hits allowed in a game is 14. (13) tonight by Shields. It's been done 3 times. Two balls and a strike. Most recently, Edwin Jackson in 2007. Santiago looks at strike two. It's 2-2. Jeremy Gonzalez did it in 04 and Tanyan Sturts in 02. Two balls, two strikes, and a roller down to first. Pena with the toss to Shields. Santiago is out number 2. Rays are bringing in the noise and funk this Saturday. Catch the Rays take on the Tigers and then stick around to see legendary Earth, Wind, and Fire take the stage. See them perform their hits such as September, Shining Star, and Boogie Wonderland. Visit RaysBaseball.com. All the elements in line with Earth, Wind, and Fire. First pitch to Austin Jackson. Strike one. One ball, one strike. One shot deep into right center field. That will one hop the wall. Upton plays the carom, and Jackson's on his way to third. The throw will not be in time. A 3-base hit for Austin Jackson up the alley into right center field. That's his 4th straight hit, and the 14th hit allowed by Shields tonight. And so for the 4th time in Rays history, a starting pitcher has allowed as many as 14 hits in a game.
Now, Austin Jackson, we saw him go down and get a ball down in the zone out to left field earlier in the game. He shoots this one to right center, ends up at third base, and that's going to bring out Joe Madden. You see him have to readjust his steps there at second and still makes it quite easily.
So that's it for Shields. He'll depart after working 7 2/3. Call to the bullpen. Brought to you by Metro PCS. Wireless for all. Career, James Shields departs, trailing 4-2. He made 123 pitches tonight. Responsible for a man on third base with 2 outs here in the 8th. And Jake McGee on to match up against Quentin Berry. Berry takes a pitch down, 1-0. Berry had a bunt single and a run scored in the 3rd inning. A credit for a run batted in the 4th. And a ground ball back to the mound, grabbed by McGee, and the toss to first retires the side. We head into the bottom of the 8th. 4-2 Detroit.
The bottom of the 8th, 4-2. Well, here's what's coming up on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by Gulf Coast Honda Dealers. Tomorrow, pair of aces be taking the mound tomorrow night. Got David Price and Justin Verlander. David Price Bulls for charity, and my breakdown of something. It'll be something that will be riveting television.
So don't miss it if you can.
No, tune in. I'm telling you, 15 minutes early is worth your while.
Yeah.
Today we had you, James Shields, a bobblehead on the dome. At least talk of it anyway.
Yeah. Well, in the mind's eye.
Well, here you go. This is who you're going to have to start chipping away on.
Joaquin Benoit on the third pitcher of the night. B.J. Upton will face him. And a swing and a miss. Benoit quick with the fastball. Strike one. Scherzer for 6 innings plus, 2 runs, 4 hits. He struck out 7, walked 2. Phil Koch followed him, a swing and a miss. The line on Koch. 1 inning, 1 hit. Picked up a strikeout and walked a man. And now Benoit. Fly ball right field. Ryan Rayburn just into the game, replacing Bosch out there, and Rayburn makes the catch. On the way here in the 8th. And Viciedo has hit a 3-run home run in the top of the 9th inning of David Robertson. And the White Sox take a 4-3 lead into the bottom of the 9th. 4-3 Chicago over New York. Yankees hitting in the bottom of the 9th. Here's Luke Scott. Pitch is wide. Angels lead the Blue Jays 8-7. Jose Valverde up in the bullpen now for Detroit. Wade Davis is throwing in the bullpen for the Rays. pitch to Scott is a strike around the knees. Toronto scored a run in the bottom of the 7th, and so they bat in the bottom of the 8th. 8-7 Angels over the Blue Jays. Cleveland over Baltimore 7-2. That's the final. And Luke Scott gets under it and hits a high popper into short right. Santiago is there. So 2 outs. Base is empty here in the bottom of the 8th. We all know Don Zimmer, a baseball legend. It's only fitting that his Zimbear has reached the same elite status already, and tomorrow the first 10,000 fans take home the much publicized Zimbear, presented by the Tampa Bay Times. The Rays take on the Tigers. That's part of Friday Fest, presented by Captain Morgan. Zimbears everywhere. Now Ben Zobrist. Strike 1. Rays down by 2. 2 down, nobody on in the bottom half of the inning. Zobrist way down on the count now. 2 strikes.
We know that Joaquin Benoit has that good split Vulcan changeup. And he had been fastball heavy until he got to Ben Zobrist, good fastball hitter. 2 in a row and an 0-2 count.
And a line drive base hit into right field. Zobrist got an 0-2 fastball and singles. How about that?
Yeah, how about that is right. And Ben Zobrist just proved with that swing he was never going to get off that fastball. And this just caught too much plate. You can see they want that ball off the plate away. And that's what happens. You don't execute, you miss your location. This ball comes back middle, and Zobrist is all over it. You're going to throw 2 changeups to get ahead 0-2 and then a fastball. You miss 2 feet off the plate, not back on.
Jeff Keppinger. Keppinger takes a strike. Keppinger getting his first look at Benoit. Scherzer worked 6+. Koch worked the rest of the 7th. Got credit for the full inning. There goes Zobrist, and the pitch hit on the ground to third. Cabrera has it, and his throw to first in plenty of time. No runs a hit, and the Rays leave 1. We go into the 9th. It's 4-2 Detroit.
Let's take one last look at our AutoWay text poll question tonight. Which Rays event this weekend piques your interest the most? TB1, Friday's Zimbear giveaway with the outstanding pitching matchup of David Price and Justin Verlander. TB2, Saturday's Retro Night and the Earth, Wind, and Fire concert. Or TB3, Sunday's James Shields bobblehead with the high right finger. Text your vote to 789-789. Standard message and data rates will always apply.
Well, Miguel Cabrera is going to be the first man Wade Davis faces. So it'll be Cabrera, Fielder, and then Young. And Cabrera's first swing is hit a mile into right center field and gone. Miguel Cabrera takes it out to right center. Well, that first pitch fastball, and he hits it a mile the opposite way.
And notice on the replay how easy the swing is. That's right center field, right-handed hitter. That's Oppo pop, and watch how easy. I mean, just smooth, one-hand high finish, and that was a no-doubter.
That's his fourth hit of this game. Jackson has 4 hits. Cabrera has 4 hits. 15 hits total for Detroit. How about all of his home runs? All right, 6 to left, but 5 to center and 5 to right.
Where do you pitch him? You better pitch him down, and you better move it around a lot. That's amazing.
2-0 the count to Prince Fielder. 3-run game again. Fielder lifts a high foul back and out of play. Rays have been out hit 15-6 and they trail 5-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Well, that home run makes it a 3-run game. Valverde has been warming up in the bullpen. He's standing on the bullpen mound now. Fielder fouls it out of play. Delman Young is on deck. And then Avila. And Fielder sends a fly ball into center. Upton is there and makes the catch. So that's the first out of the ninth. It's Delman Young. Pitch is low. The ball, no strikes. Two and nothing. A 3-0 count to Young. Swinging 3-0, 3 balls and a strike now. Liner into left. Charge there by Desmond Jennings. 2 gone.
That ball seemingly was never going to come down. Shot there by Delman Young, just continued to travel, and Desmond wraps the leather around it. Watch this thing.
Two outs, and now the catcher, Alex Avila. Avila doubled in a run in the third. He's 1 for 4. Pitch is a little bit low. Breaking pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. Avila's been back about a week. He had a hamstring issue and spent the better part of the month until a week ago on the DL. He was hurt in the first week of June. 2 balls, no strikes. It'll be Verlander tomorrow night. Justin Verlander against David Price. 3-0 the count. Wade Davis, pitcher number 3 for the Rays. There's David. Price 10-4 and Verlander 8-4. That should be fun here tomorrow. Avila walks on 4 pitches. Two-out walk in the 9th inning in a 5-2 game. Johnny Peralta, the shortstop. Wade misses too low. A ball and no strikes. Wade pitched 2 2/3 innings in the nightcap of the day-night Sunday doubleheader in Philadelphia. Gave up 3 runs in that one. Touch for a run on the opening home run in the 9th inning tonight. One-0 pitch. Big cut to miss. Peralta thinking long ball that one. One ball, 1 strike. The breaking ball misses. 2 balls and a strike. 15 hits for the Tigers. 14 of those off James Shields, who worked 7 2/3 tonight. Gave up 4 runs. The 5th run on Cabrera's home run here off Davis. Pitch is foul, out of play.
Well, that's what the Tigers have done. They took the early lead, and then the Rays closed, within 3-1. Tigers extended back out to 4-2, or 4-1, and then the Rays, 4-2. Tigers now 5-2. They've just had an answer each and every time that the Rays have started to crawl back into it.
Here's the 2-2 and a roller to the right side. Long pickup there by Gonzalez, or by Rodriguez, as Sean had come in for Keppinger there. Sean Rodriguez makes the play. Peralta's out of there. Well, it's going to be Valverde with the Rays down 5-2. Rays baseball tonight brought to you by the 2012 GMC Sierra. It's our best Sierra ever. By Subway Restaurants. Play hard, eat fresh. By Buddy's Home Furnishings. And by Checkers. Feast on. Joe Madden and the Rays down 5-2 as we enter the bottom of the 9th inning. Don't forget, stay tuned for Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers. We'll break down tonight's game from the booth. We'll hear from both Joe Madden and Rays players in the clubhouse. Orestes Destrada will join Todd Callis on the set. It's chock full of information immediately following our game coverage.
You know what's worth the price of admission? Is watching this guy right here, Jose Valverde, the Detroit closer, go through his in-between innings, come out to the mound and get ready to pitch in a big league ball game.
Yeah, there's nothing fluid about it.
I mean, it's worth coming out to the ballpark to watch it. That's all I'm saying. Wow.
So here's Brooks Conrad to face Valverde. 13 saves and 16 opportunities, and the first pitch is a fastball up, and Conrad took a rip, fouling it back. Strike one. Conrad trying to get at least another run in a hurry on that first swing. Matsui will pinch hit for Lobaton next. And that's a strike. 0-2. Matsui on deck. And the pitch is away. Valverde worked 2 nights ago in Texas. Well, the fastball is off the plate in. 2-2. And a broken bat popper into shallow center. And that ball is caught on a nice running grab by Peralta out from shortstop. Well, Peralta in front of Jackson made the catch in center field.
Well, that was in response to Cabrera kicking him off that infield pop-up. He's not going to let Jackson get to that, go take one from him. He got back there in a hurry. Nice over-the-shoulder catch there by Johnny Peralta.
Valverde appreciated it. Here's Hideki Matsui against him. Valverde had the first major league stint with Arizona. A couple of years with Houston. Last 2 years with Detroit. 1 ball, no strikes as he faces Hideki Matsui. There's a high shot back into center field. Austin Jackson has the range on it, however, and he makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down. Just as we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. For that, the home run in the top of the ninth of Miguel Cabrera, who made that home run to the opposite field seem nice and easy. He made it a 3-run game with his 16th home run of the year. And now it's Elliott Johnson to face Valverde. It's foul the other way. Out of play. That's a strike. Two up, two down in the ninth. One strike to count to Elliott Johnson, who drove in a run for the Rays in the 5th inning. Their second run of the night. Pops it into shallow left center. Berry is there, and this game is over. A 1-2-3 ninth inning for Valverde against the Rays. And it's a 5-2 final. Scherzer's going to pick up the victory. His record is 7-5. James Shields, the losing pitcher, his record 7-5. Valverde is saved. 3 hours and 5 minutes the time of this game. Same two teams tomorrow. Our coverage begins at 6:30. Rays Live, the post game presented by Checkers, coming up next. For Brian Anderson and Todd Callis, Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast and not the outcome in the final 5-2 Detroit. We'll see you next on Rays Live, the post game.